Alright. The Hall of Pain welcomes you to this Hall of Pain episode of Champions of the World. Anyway, this is the other guy from the MTO1 reviews, and I gotta say, the show opens with Hugh Hefner with the girls next door, and he has all these YWC guys as future of the business. And first of all, he introduces RKO Peeps, like the least charismatic out of all the people there, probably RKO Peeps. And I guess he's whatever the hell he did or whatever. I mean, I don't know if he worked on his charisma or something, like when he was in OVW or something or FCW, but he didn't. The promo he cut wasn't as bad as his regular ones are. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that he cut some was better. Anyway, hilarious shit next when they introduced Zebra Crunk, who was nervous and sweating and almost had a panic attack, almost. But anyway, Steven calms him down, and Steven's very arrogant for an ugly, curly-haired, Afro, Southern accent, redneck guy who will probably never get laid in his life. Oh yeah, before that, the Licks man interrupted and started ranting that he's not the typical YWC mark, which is funny, but thank God Kendra cut him off, because I can barely stand to hear this guy rant. Like, seriously. It's like, I like having the option on YouTube, because there's an X button on the top, but what the hell am I supposed to do when he's on TV? So now I guess every time he's going to be on the mic and cuts a rant promo, muted, and smiley face. So then it's Rethel Bunny, but she's wearing a Playboy costume, and she cuts a freaking list promo, and she's basically saying that she's always wanted to be a bunny. Kendra's laughing at her, and I guess this could lead into a feud between them, but I don't get, where the hell's Holly? Where's Holly to back up Kendra? What the fuck, what happened to Holly's push? Oh, fuck these guys, they're not booking Holly well enough. And after that, they give Sean's View Entertainment the microphone, and it's Sean's View Entertainment all the way. So apparently he's gonna be Hugh Hefner's bitch backstage. Basically, they're gonna give him the role of Jonathan Coachman when Eric Bischoff was general manager. He's gonna basically be the guy who snitches on everyone, all for the lulz. And well, I guess I mean, this is probably the only role he'll be able to play well. He's probably too fat to be performing in the ring, and he's bald. He's already going bald, so you don't want him to age in there even more. So he already snitches out Tyler and Chick Kick are fucking, despite the fact that everyone knows Tyler and Chick Kick are getting humongous heat because Tyler's a rapist, obviously. There's no way he's 20 years old. I mean, who are you believing? Have you seen this guy's face? I mean, unless he has that disease that the girl from Orphan had. Anyway, so they're apparently, him and Chick Kick are in love and whatever. And Niddle and Jamie are behind them. And this is just one big cluster. Well, I don't want to say a clusterfuck because it's not the writer's fault. I mean, I just don't like these people. Anyway, then thank God for Reggie Tiller. I never thought I'd say that in my life. Thank God for Reggie Tiller. He interrupts them, which is, then he says they're boring, overrated, whatever. And the fans start chanting Lazy Eye. Now, what kind of soul do these fans have to chant Lazy Eye at a guy who has a lazy eye? It's like, you don't hear people chanting Cerebral Palsy to JR. And then Bone Duster, who didn't cut that bad of a promo, actually. I wish they would have given them the mic a little more. Says it's a good thing they saved the best for last and whatever. And then they make him into a complete joke saying he's a chess champion. But I like how he insulted everyone. And like he just seems like the perfect mastermind. Like the role they're giving Paris Hilton, that should be Bone Duster's role. Because he's an actual believable mastermind. Because he's a nerd. So then the Dwayne comes out and says he sees a little something in RKO Peeps, and then he says, I want to team up with you to take on Zebra Crunk and Steven. And, like, of all the people, you take the most... I mean, are they seriously the most intimidating team that you have to pick a match against them? So then they give Bone Duster the mic again, which is freaking funny. He called the Dwaynes a scaredy cat for not, picking to fight against them. And then he gives him the Dwayne Bottom, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It's like, every word that used to be Rock is now Dwayne. Like, seriously? Then we see George Bush talking to Al Qaeda and Osama backstage, and I guess they have him held captive or something. And Osama's like yelling at him Muslim or whatever, telling Bush to join or die. And Bush is just he's a funny guy and all, but I mean you'd expect him to be a little more serious in a situation like this, but whatever. So then, right when it was getting good, Al Qaeda scares off the cameraman. Whatever. So I'm not really sure where this is going, what direction this is in or going, but I don't know. I guess it's intriguing to see if they're making Bush their bitch now or something. All right, so then so then there's like this is like the sixth or seventh or 10th straight segment where Kendra's backstage, backstage, being mad in Hugh Hefner's office, saying she wants to beat the fuck out of Wrestle Bunny, and she tells him to put him in the match. She tells him to put her in a match against the scariest opponent. So Hugh Hefner makes it so by putting her in a match with Osama. So I mean, doesn't wrestling matter anymore? This is supposed to be a wrestling show, but whatever. Anyway, so I guess they are really going through with the Kendra and Wrestle Bunny storyline. Should be interesting, even though Kendra's a horrible wrestler. She's like Caitlyn. She's more eye candy, except she's better on the mic. But she's just not that great in the ring. So then it's Casey Face, who by the way is not a whore, according to her new theme, taking on Miranda Cosgrove. Now, this was freaking funny because we all got rickrolled and everything. So I guess thank God that they're actually keeping the storyline, because I mean after last week it seemed like they were going elsewhere, but luckily they're keeping this. So this is good news, and I'm liking where this is going. This is good. All right, so then Joe Jonas is backstage in the Jonas Brothers locker room, and he's trying to act like he didn't do anything. Basically, the other Jonases, the fags, well, they're all fags, but the less fags, I guess you can say, the cronies of his, are basically, they're hammering him with questions. He said he had to take Kevin to the hospital. So, I guess they're not trusting him, so building a little turmoil in between them when Rhett and Link are, they're the tag team champions. They're all good. So I guess this is putting a shred of doubt in their minds. But this is obvious that Rhett and Link is winning because, the Jonas Brothers to me are like John Morrison in the WWE. They're probably never going to win another match. Alright, so then Miley walks in Hugh Hefner's office. By the way, whatever happened to knocking? I mean, every time I ever see someone going into Hugh Hefner's office, they just barge right in there like it's their house. I mean, whatever happened to knocking? Doesn't that make the boss upset? But whatever. So she basically says she's honored to be a part of the women's championship match against Boho Solo and Selena Gomez. And Hugh says he never said Miley would be a part of the match. If she can beat Demi Lovato tonight, she can join the match. But if Demi Lovato wins, Demi Lovato's in the match. Wonder who's gonna win this one? Best of both worlds. It's gonna be in Tennessee. I seriously wonder who's gonna win this match. Number sarcasm. So then it's Wrestle Bunny versus George Bush. And it was supposed to be Osama bin Laden, but, bin Laden threatens Bush into the match. And Wrestle Bunny was acting like a real whore in this match. Maybe this should have her theme be I Am Not a Whore. But her theme fits her well, I guess. Anyway, Wrestle Bunny pins him by teasing. Yeah, she teases him, and then she teases the crowd after she wins. My question is, well, no, I guess it's good that Kendra didn't come out. She's done all her work for this rivalry for the night. Alright, so then, after the match, Obama comes out trying to save George Bush from getting shot, and then Bush attacks Obama. He turns heel on Obama. So this is a really good way to build up your match. So great job here by having Bush just be their bitch and their crony, to making them do what basically he's the John Cena and Al Qaeda's the Nexus. Now I'm seriously wondering who has the upper hand in this rivalry. I mean Osama maybe, but you have to wonder if George Bush is just playing them. So then the cocky, arrogant, charismatic son of a bitch Steven is trying to pump up Zebra Crunk and he makes a 4chan reference, and automatically a 4chan reference whores out Casey Face. I guess it is Casey Face, whoever the fuck this is, and I guess she just whores out to anyone who knows anything about 4chan. So whatever. I guess this is the only way he'll ever get laid. So next up is Demi Lovato in the locker room, and Selena Gomez walks in apologizing, not very sincerely, which makes me think they're building even more turmoil, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, Demi asks her if we can hang out after the show, and Selena says I already made plans with Justin. Now Demi looks really pissed, but she says, that's fine. But she looked really pissed off, so, I mean, obviously more turmoil being built, and I gotta wonder if Demi Lovato's gonna, do anything about this, because, I mean, she's already having troubles. She's already very, emotional, so I don't know what the hell else they can do before she kills herself. So then there was a segment that I didn't really have a huge problem with, but I'm just not digging this feud at all. It's Paris Hilton, saying she's gonna reveal Jamie Lynn Spears' secret, and Britney Spears challenges Paris to a match, and whatever. So what the hell happened to revealing her secret? Just because Britney Spears challenged her to a match, she's not gonna reveal her secret already. So whatever. Anyway, Britney challenges to a bra and panties match, and Paris says, "Oh, if I win, you have to do whatever I say." And Britney says, "Okay, but if I win, you have to leave my family alone." I'm just not looking forward to this. I haven't been digging this storyline too much, but I guess if you have nothing else for them, I guess. Alright, so since I hate Lindsay Lohan, I'm not even gonna talk about that stupid video package I made for her in rehab that she's getting better. So then Boho Solo gets an interview. She's finally normal, not going crazy. So I guess she didn't have a monster before this, or whatever. But Miley interrupts her, and then Miley gets pissed at her for saying that Miley isn't a true friend. She starts insulting her, and then Hugh Hefner says Boho Solo is the special guest referee for Miley's match. Bolo walks away laughing, and Miley tries to apologize. Now, knowing Miley Cyrus, she's gonna get her way no matter what. She's gonna hop her up on the queue. She's gonna throw roofies in her fucking drink or something. But knowing Miley, she's gonna do something to make sure she wins. So then, apparently now RKO Peeps is the personification of domination, as he dominates Steven and Zebra Crunk, because the Dwayne never gets tagged in. So, I mean, this match told a good story where RKO Peeps is the Dwayne's protege, and he wants him to do everything exactly like him. So they win the match. They pretty much dominate. And the funniest thing about this match was Zebra Crook had a panic attack. That was freaking hilarious. I was rolling on the floor when I read. So then Sean's View Entertainment tells Hugh Hefner a bunch of bullshit about Selena Gomez being at Execution and Demi Lovato talking Execution. I mean, Demi Lovato I believe, but Selena Gomez would not leave Champions of the World. She's as loyal as they can get. Demi Lovato is as loyal as they can get too, which is probably why she wants to go back to Execution. And Hugh asked Sean, "I wonder if Demi can really be trusted." Well, when you treat her the way you've been treating her and the way Selena's been treating her, I don't think anyone can be trusted. But this is interesting because you wonder if any of this shit is true. Because knowing Sean's View Entertainment, you know what I want. I want them to put a picture of a link up there to make sure that this is true. But this is interesting, wondering if Demi will actually jump ship. So I'm gonna keep my eye out on this stuff for the next weeks to come. So then it's Casey Anthony, who's getting booed in an interview. Like, when you're getting that kind of monster heat in an interview, that's how you know you've made it. Anyway, she talks about the upcoming trial with John LaJoie. And I'm wondering, like, I mean, management is very high on both of these people, so I'm wondering who's going to win the world title this Sunday, but I'll get more into that later. So then it was the huge one-on-one match to see who would join in the Women's Championship match at Best of Both Worlds. It's Miley Cyrus versus Demi Lovato with Boho Solo as the referee. Boho Solo gets knocked out. This is TNA type booking. It's a ref bump. This is Russo. This has Russo written all over it because not only does this have a ref bump, this has the referee distracting the fans over there. This has a cheap finish, and the heel wins. So whatever. So then finally they use Holly. Jesus Christ, it's about time. But here's my problem. They're using her as a slut. She's not a slut. Just because she poses for Playboy doesn't mean she's a slut. She dated Hugh Hefner for 3 years. Jesus. Does that make her a slut? No. But whatever. Anyway, then after she distracts the fans, which she needed to distract the fans, I don't understand it at all. But she goes out after Boho gets knocked out. She's a referee and she makes the pinfall. So I mean if it gets her TV time, I'm all for it. But I'm not a big fan of making her into the slut they're making her. I mean this is like Lita. Lita's not a slut. What the hell is this? She's gonna end up leaving them just like Lita left WWE. All right, so we see Jesse Slaughter looking at the CCW rewind where her dad gets arrested, and she just looks mad. And Casey, what the fuck is with this? Casey face is like the new John Laryngitis. She's getting TV time every 30 minutes. She's like Hulk Hogan now. Like, is she pulling the strings backstage or something? But whatever. So I guess she forms a heel faction with Jesse, and she tells the camera guys to go away. So I guess they're forming a heel faction to form against Miranda Cosgrove, who, by the way, is very intimidating. All 22 pounds of her are intimidating. All right, so then it's the main event. Quotes are on main event because this isn't even a match. It's the jury trial between Casey Anthony and John LaJoie, which I don't get what the hell they're even having a jury trial for. Like, did John LaJoie or Casey Anthony do anything to have a trial? This is good from the entertainment side, but not very good for making sense. Anyway, funny shit from John LaJoie. He wasn't making any sense at all, and it was funny. He even used the Chewbacca thing that they used on South Park, which is freaking hilarious shit right there. And Casey Anthony doesn't even get a word in, and she's found guilty. Now I guess this is supposed to be like redemption for not being found guilty when she was guilty, and this time she wasn't guilty, so she is. But Judge Judy is just a very uh impartial official, so you better hope you don't get her as a special guest referee. But this was funny. So this is like, I guess this is good build, but I would have liked to see them, go at it at least once. But I guess they would have thrown trash at her, so that wouldn't have made much to work with. So basically, Casey Anthony has a shocking revelation that she talked Hugh Hefner into making it a steel cage match at Best of Both Worlds, and so that people wouldn't throw trash at her. Now here's what I don't get. You don't get to throw trash at her as easy. But what happens if you just have an empty drink and you just chuck it up and over and it falls on her inside the steel cage? Wouldn't that just hit her as well? Why not just make it a Hell in a Cell? That way no one can do it at all. So I just didn't get that. Anyway, oh yeah, and another thing that was funny was that she was in a coal mine, which is freaking hilarious. But and the fucked up thing here was, like, to close the show, she said, "I swear on my daughter's grave, I'll win the world title at Best of Both Worlds." So that was a fucked up line. I'm telling you, if the writers wrote that, they're going to hell for that. I'm telling you. It was a good show, but maybe it would have been a great show on TV. So it was a great show. So I'm gonna give it a 1.5 out of 10. So. Anyways, this has been the other guy from the MT1 Reviews, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. The end.